What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome once again. It's a very cloudy day and it's time for another adventure. This adventure features the man himself, the legend, Sergi. You may have seen him from his video, The Legend of Sergi. He's on one wheel, apparently. Alright, he's down on two.
That's how I kind of started, and then from there I said, well, if the United States have riders and all over, I started to like search for riders in different Caribbean countries.
Right,
They weren't seeing fully controlled wheelies, so I started to do like one hand, different variations, and I started to get really popular.
Well, guess what? Me being a scuba diving instructor, I had the opportunity to take Sergi on his very first scuba dive. So I've decided to put that video together, edit it out, and share it with you. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you are inspired. Boo! This is my favorite training ground because, as you can see, it's like a swimming pool. You dip your head under the water, you swim to the brown, go to that barrier right there, and go around. Head to the point, turn around, come back in. You get the comfort of having the shore, swimming pool, head down, and reef. So the moment you put your face in the water, you see in fish. Unlike doing a swimming pool where you're just in chlorine and then you have to head to another spot to go and do the reef.
So a lot of training diving they do in swimming pools?
If you have access to a pool, but it has to be pool-like conditions. So it has to be calm, shallow, and easy to access the person. So you can't just go and do first time in deep water. Yeah, you have to do the training stuff in a shallow section where they could stand chest high or even shallower. So they get comfortable. But you put people in deep water and first thing they're thinking is sharks and all sorts of stuff.
Panic.
Yeah, man, panic. We're gonna take it from the top. Welcome to your first dive session. First dive session. All right. How you feeling? Excited? Nervous?
I'm always excited.
Always excited? All right. So I'm going to be the one instructing you. My name is Loom. In the diving world, they call me Fruit of the Loom. Easier to remember. I am a PADI dive instructor, certified and renewed. So I'll be conducting the experience with you. Before you even start the experience, you have the Discover Scuba Diving Manual. What this is going to do is run you through the skills we're going to be performing, the equipment we'll be using, how you use certain parts of the equipment, using signs and signals. You have a gauge, just like you have a fuel gauge in a car, you have an air gauge. To the top, you also have depth gauge to tell you how deep you are. Flying after diving, certain considerations, and then you get to log the experience. There's also the forms that need to be filled out. So you have the PADI Discover Scuba Diving Participant Statement, which you're going to read. Then you have the medical questionnaire. So if these questions here, if you answer yes to any of them, you would have to get a physician to clear you. So when you fill this out, you write full word YES yes or NO no on each line. I'm going to be briefing, and when I'm done, we'll review these questions right here. You also have to fill out disclosures and liability releases. And then you put the instructor name, sign, and date. At the end of the program, you'll be awarded a certificate. Leatherback turtles, humpback whales have been spotted here, eagle rays as well, cushion starfish, I mean lots of aquatic life. This reef, very shallow, we're talking 7 to 8 meters max. If you want to go deeper, you have to go way beyond the point, and we're not going that far because way beyond the point you have very strong currents. Very nice and sheltered in this area. We'll be starting in chest high water, so we'll be able to stand, communicate a little bit, kneel on the bottom, perform some skills, and then we just swim underwater around the reef and circle back. Of course, as I go along, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. We'll be using equipment for our dive, and this is what some people might consider the most important one, the scuba tank. The scuba tank has the air we use for breathing. I'm sure you've heard some people say you have an oxygen tank. Now, oxygen is something totally different. Diving with a higher concentration of oxygen does require special training, and if you decide you would like to get certified, you can actually get certified to use certain mixes of that gas. They call it nitrox or enriched air. So the air is enriched, so you could stay underwater longer, you can dive deeper, and you feel less tired when you exit the water. But this one right here is just normal, plain old air, the same air you breathe in right now. As a matter of fact, the air in there should be cleaner and fresher than the air you breathe in right now. When the compressor is on, sucks the air goes through many filters, it's clean, purified, and then it goes into the scuba tank. So when that valve is closed and the tank is taken off the compressor, the air that's trapped in here should be clean and fresh. Any unfamiliar place you go diving, I would recommend testing the air prior to jumping into the water. So this is a simple on and off valve. You open, you close. If you open too forcefully, it's going to let out a huge burst of air. But you should know about that, because what does that remind you of?
Throttle.
The throttle. So if you throttle too quickly, you wheelie, you fall on your back. You throttle nice and easy, what's going to happen? The air will exit very slowly. So as the air exits, all you simply want to do is bring your nose and your mouth over the scuba cylinder. So let's start with the nose. So now the air is blowing into my nose. All I have to do is breathe. So now I can smell the air. It smells clean. So second test, through the mouth. Put your mouth over the air. Breathe. Nice and clean. So this air should be tasteless and odorless. If you smell any hint of unpure air, do not use it. So there are a few reasons why the air could be bad. One, let's say for example, we're in 2019, diving is swinging. The last day before the shutdown, did a dive. This was the first tank that got filled on the compressor. It's to the back of the pile. All the other tanks are filled. They're to the front. After the shutdown, first day of diving, starts to swing again. The tanks at the front, they get taken out to the boat. This one is still in the back of the pile. 2 months later, finally, this gets pulled from the pile and is put into circulation. The diver who uses this realizes, nah man, something is wrong with the air. What probably happened is the air went stale. The air is just sitting in the scuba cylinder. It's not being used. It's going to get stale. It's almost like keeping gas in your motorcycle for like 3 years. Don't expect to start your motorcycle and then ride off. All right. Another thing that could cause the air in here to become foul. The filters on the compressor have not been changed. If you are full in your tanks next to a sewage plant, don't expect to get good breathing air in the scuba cylinder. It's going to smell. True story, the guys that I took diving are from Switzerland, and one of them was actually telling me 2 of them rented some scuba cylinders for 5 of them to go scuba diving. They went diving in some lakes. After the dive, every single person in that group had a craving for some KFC. Nobody could understand why. When they took the equipment back to the dive shop, right next to the dive shop is a KFC.
So all the time they're breathing, that's what they smell it.
So it's a good way to make your money twice, huh?
Especially if you have a restaurant or something, huh?
You have a restaurant right next door? Yeah, man. As soon as they come from diving, they come in here. Yeah, man. Second thing you want to do with your scuba tank. So you can see you have 3AL, 3AL. You have it twice. So one conversion is metric, 207. The other one is imperial, 3,000. So 207 bar, 3,000 pounds per square inch or PSI. This scuba tank is an 80 cubic foot tank. The age of the tank is also important. For this tank, 01, the first month of the year, which is January of 1998, this scuba tank was manufactured. Every 5 years, this tank needs to be tested with water pressure. They call it a hydrostatic test. 98, 99, 2000, 1, 2, 3. March 2003, the test was done. 5 years later, May 2008, the test was done. So 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're looking for a 13 stamp. 13 is there. Plus 5, 13 plus 5, 18. 18 is there. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So next year, this tank needs to be tested again. If you are diving with a dive shop who do not take care of the dive equipment, the Scuba Tank can tell you. If this tank only said January 1998 full stop, it means these guys have not been testing their tanks. First thing I do is look at the Scuba Tank, I read, and then I test the air. And sorry about that, we have a guy with a lead blower. Any questions on the cylinder? Next, the jacket, sleeveless coat. This is what you'll be using to keep the scuba tank at your back. Many times you see people putting their scuba units together and they take the jacket and they do this. But this is where the diver is supposed to go. To the back of the jacket, this is where the scuba tank goes. So this part right here prevents the scuba tank from making contact with your spine. BCD, buoyancy control device, or some people call it the buoyancy compensation device. Velcro straps around the tummy. A clip goes over the Velcro. Another clip comes across your chest. The purpose of the jacket is to control where you are in the water. So if I want to remain on the surface, I have to add air. If you put air into a balloon and you throw it in the sea, it will never sink, or beach ball. Yeah? So when you add air to the jacket, it would allow you to float. So this is why you don't want the jacket to be tight, because you want to make room for the extra size that it will get. Yeah? Cool. Other things about the jacket. Straps would allow you to make the jacket more snug. You do have the ability to make the jacket tighter. You have the ability to make the jacket looser with each strap. So as you pull, it tightens. You pull this way, it gets loose. You have on your left shoulder a hose that comes all the way down to your left breast. At the end of that hose, you have two buttons. The button closer to the end would allow you to remove air from the jacket. So when you squeeze this button, see how the water comes out? It allows air to exit the jacket. That's right. When the air gets out of the jacket, you get closer to the aquatic life. You need to remember though, if you're going to be using this one, you want to be head first, so head up, feet down, and you need to allow the air to travel upward, because underwater, air travels up. So if you hold this down, the air will not flow out of the hose and then go up. This button right here would allow you to add air to the jacket. This would allow you to float on the surface when you hold the button down. Underwater, you should never hold this button down. If you take a beach ball filled with air and you push it underwater and you're looking down at it and you let it go, what's going to happen? It's going to come into your face. So just imagine if you have a dive boat above you and you just squeeze this button, you're going to go rocket straight into the dive boat. All right, and I don't think you're going to be diving if you're a motorcycle helmet, so your head will not be protected. Yeah? All right, so avoid holding down this button when you are underwater and you need to come up. As a matter of fact, you release air from the jacket and you swim up. As you come up, air expands. So if the air is expanding in the jacket and you're just swimming up on your own, there's no way for the air to be released. It's going to bring you up similar to squeezing that button underwater.
Fast.
Another way to get the air out of the jacket quickly, dump valve on your right collarbone. There's another one to the right side. If you pull on this one and you are upright, the air will not flow down. So guess what? With this one, you have to be swimming down, head down, and you pull this one and the air will be released. Yeah? You could also pull on this one right here. If you're going up quickly, as soon as you pull, you just stop right away and you start back descending. So you have 4 releases. You have 1, 2, 3, head down, 4. All right, so you have 4 ways to get air out of the jacket. But I've only told you about 1 way to get air into the jacket. This method, using the power inflator. But there's another method you have using your breath. So you need to plug this area to prevent the air from exiting. This is just to release water.
Press your hand.
While you push this button, you breathe into the jacket. Release the button. Do it again. Now you can actually see The jacket is tough. So with this amount of air, no matter how many times I attempt to swim down, I will never be able to head underwater because the jacket will keep me afloat. You want to know if you have a proper fitting jacket? All you simply need to do, put the jacket on, tighten it up, fill it with air, and if the jacket prevents you from breathing, it is too small. If after filling the jacket with air, the jacket still dances around your body, it's too big.
You want to just be snug.
It's supposed to be snug when it's completely filled. Any questions on the jacket?
No,
To allow you to get closer to the aquatic life, you have weights, very heavy. Be careful, do not allow it to fall onto your toe. You always hold the free end in the right hand, even if you are left-handed. Around the waist, the buckle in the left, you're going to lean forward, make sure it's not twisted, and you're going to slide the free end into the buckle, pull, make sure the buckle is on your belly button, and then you tighten. Why do you want the buckle on your belly button? This is how you will know if your weights are balanced. If one weight is too much more forward than the other, you'll be tilted to a side when you dive. Jackets also come with a pouch that you could attach the weights to. It's called an integrated weight system. So that means you don't even make contact with the weights, they just stay on your jacket. If you need to release them in the event of an emergency, just release and it drops. So with the weights, plus releasing air from the jacket, you will get closer to the aquatic life. Not only that, but you'll feel discomfort in your ears. You can pretend to chew while you're underwater to get rid of that discomfort. So you can go wiggle your jaw. You can also hold your nose and blow gently into it. The one that works for me easiest, hold your nose and swallow. And then the last one is to simply yawn. 4 methods: pinch, blow, pinch, swallow, wiggle, or stretch by yawning. Wow. Ski, how was that? And that is only one part. Sergi hasn't even gone into the water as yet. We haven't seen fish. We haven't seen coral. We haven't seen if Sergi does wheelies underwater. Can he do wheelies underwater? I know you want to find out. So here's what you need to do. Hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll be alerted when that video drops. Also, you're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram at BIGGLUM. That's BIGGLUM. Following me on Instagram, this is when you're going to be alerted as to when the videos are going to drop. You'll be seeing some behind the scenes stuff. Hey, it gets crazy. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to share with any and everybody. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, leave some comments. Let us know if you want to see more videos like this. I know you want to see Sergi get into the water. That's a given. And hey, as always, get control of your body. Take time for your mind. Love yourself first so you can love others. Until the next time. Poop, poop.